Hey guys, welcome back to Little Miss Chickass and welcome to one of the most requested videos that I get asked to do on this channel. It is my beginner's guide to vlogging your Disney holiday, which might sound like a bit of a strange topic for a video, but I get so many emails into my inbox or comments on my videos or tweets where you guys ask me what camera I use for my holidays, what equipment do I use, how do I do it, what's my best tips. So I thought I would put together a little video for you to watch if you are going on a Disney holiday, and you can see kind of what I do, and then you can kind of use some of it and vlog your own holiday. So one thing I must make clear to everybody who's watching this video is my top tip. I'm going to get it out of the way before we start. It runs through everything that I do. My top tip for vlogging your own Disney holiday is to not live your life through a lens. That said, I know I vlog a lot of things when I go to Disney, but I don't live my life through a lens. What you see in my videos is a very, very small proportion of my day, and the rest of the time I'm out enjoying my holiday. I'm enjoying my holiday when I'm vlogging it, but I've learned how to vlog and still not have to look at the camera and not look through the camera to see what's going on in front of me, the magic that is happening in front of me. So I think we'll talk about equipment first, as that is the piece of information that most people do want to know, and don't worry, I will leave all of my equipment below for you so you can go and check it out for yourself. The main camera that I've vlogged with at Disney for the last 12 months is my Canon G7X. It has a flip out screen so you can see what is going on in front of you, so you can see it there, and it's really good so I can talk to myself like this, but I also can turn it around then and film other things as well. This is the Mark 1 Canon G7X. You can buy the Mark 2 now if you can find it in stock anywhere. I will be upgrading to the Mark 2 at some point, but I think that the Mark 1 is absolutely fantastic. I get a lot of video comments saying the quality is really good, what do I use? And I use the Canon G7X in all of my filming. You may also notice I have it on a little tripod. This is my Manfrotto tripod. Again, I'll leave the link below for it because I'm not sure of its official title. This is brand new. I never had it on my last Disney holiday, but I will be taking it on my next. Tripod that I used on my last Disney holiday is actually this Joby tripod. I love it for Disney because you can bend it around things. So when I am filming on rides, for instance, I used to bend the tripod around the bar at the front, especially on Little Mermaid, and you'd have like the tripod here and the camera here, and then I had both hands free to enjoy the ride myself, and I really like this. What I would say is my Canon G7X was slightly too heavy for this tripod, and by the end of the holiday it was bending slightly because it had just had enough on its resistance. I actually broke my second one of these at Disneyland Paris, so now that's why I have upgraded to the Manfrotto one, but this will be great for normal point and shoot cameras, which, let's be honest, you can vlog a Disney holiday on a normal point and shoot camera. It doesn't have to be one with a flip out screen. It's obviously easier because you can see what's going on, but that's just my personal preference. But these tripods are great additions. You can take these into the Disney parks as it stands, but if you are watching this video after its release date, then please do check the guidelines haven't changed. They don't extend, so they're not classed as selfie sticks. So I did get these in last time, but Disney might change their rules, so keep an eye on their website for the full details. While we're on cameras, let's talk about memory cards. I don't have any to show you because I forgot to pick them up, but I take 6 memory cards to Disney. That's 6 64 gig memory cards. I take 5 normal SD cards and 1 micro SD card for my GoPro, and I use quite a lot of it. On my last Disney World holiday, I filled 3 64 gig memory cards for my 2 weeks I was there. When I'm in Paris, I usually fill 1 64, maybe if I'm lucky. It's because obviously I'm there for 14 days in Florida and I'm only there for like 3 days when I go to Paris, but I always take extras. My top tip is to number your memory cards and also your spare batteries so you know which ones you've used when they're rattling around in your bag, because I just throw all my memory cards and batteries in a little purse and I put it in my bag, and then obviously when I take my memory card out and it's like number 1, I know number 2 is empty, and then I put number 2 in. Same with batteries. For the G7X, I have 3 spare batteries plus the original Canon battery that comes with it. Again, I take loads of chargers, and I also take a extension lead to charge them all at night. This might seem really excessive, guys, and it is excessive, I know it is, and what I'm about to show you as well is also very excessive, but for me, this is what I like to take. This is my tech. I don't film videos now just for myself. I obviously film videos for this channel. This YouTube channel is one of my jobs now. So So I have all the equipment with me to make these videos the best quality that I can for you. You do not need all of this stuff that I'm about to show you. So I take 3 cameras to Disney. My next one is my Olympus pen that Adam bought me for Christmas a couple of years ago. This is purely for photos only. If you have a good enough camera that will do photos to your liking and video to your liking, you just need one. I take this one plus my extra lenses because I love to take photos. I love photography and I love Disney photography more than anything else. There's nothing I love more than wandering up and down Main Street looking for that perfect picture of the castle. This piece of kit helps me attain that, but again, it is not a necessity on your trip. I also have a GoPro. Now, the only time I used my GoPro in Florida last year was when I went on the water rides at the water parks. And I think I also took it on the rapids at Animal Kingdom. I was about to say Universal, but Universal wouldn't let me on with it. So if you're going to invest in one of these, remember that they won't always let you on stuff at Universal with them. But Disney are pretty flexible, it's good. And my biggest kind of recommendation for your GoPro is to get a floaty handle. So you basically attach the handle into your GoPro mount and it's really easy. Again, it's like having a tripod, but this time for your GoPro. These have become very popular. They're very good to hold on to. You get a very good grip on them. Disney were very flexible with me with this piece of kit. In the water parks, they were absolutely great. I got on the Lazy River, got on a couple of the slide rides as well. The only one I obviously didn't get it onto, I didn't even try to be honest, so I don't know if you can or not, is Summit Plummet, because to be honest, I'm too busy trying to keep my bikini top in place to kind of worry about this GoPro. You can also get chest straps and head straps for your GoPro, so it's whatever you feel comfortable wearing as well. I personally just like using the handles. I didn't wear my chest strap or my head strap on my last Disney holiday, so it's really your own personal preference. So the next thing we should talk about is vlogging style. Now, I think there's 2 ways that you can approach this when you're going to Disney. You can either know quite clearly in your head how you want your vlogs to look, or you can just go with the flow. So if you know you want your vlogs to look a particular way, you need to film with that in mind. So I know when I go to Disney, I like to make videos for each half of the day. Like most of my days in Disney have a part 1 and a part 2 because I like to go into detail for you guys. I like to show you every detail that I physically can about my day. But for my first Disney trip, I didn't think like that at all. I just filmed a bunch of stuff and then clubbed it all together at the end. And actually you can see the difference between my last 2 Disney World trips. My first one, my whole holiday, my whole 14 days is represented in 3 vlogs. In my last holiday to Disney World, that is represented in 28 vlogs. So you can see the difference. Obviously, when I was only filming for the 3 vlogs, which I didn't know how many I would get at the end of it, so I just filmed, and then clubbed everything that I wanted together. I got 3 videos out of that, and I was perfectly happy with that. When I decided to go a little bit more pro with my videos and my channel, that's when I decided to make the detail-orientated videos, and I knew I was going to Disney with a particular style in mind for how I wanted my videos to look. As a beginner, I would recommend for your first one, you just go with the flow. My biggest piece of advice for style of vlogging is you film for yourself. Even if you're filming it for a YouTube channel, you want to be able to watch your own vlogs and enjoy them. So please make sure that you have that in mind when you are choosing whether you want to have a particular style or whether you're just going to go with the flow. Let's talk about character meets, because character meets can be a great interaction to catch on camera. So I'm incredibly lucky when I go to Disney with Adam because he doesn't really like to get involved in the character meets, so he will stand back and hold the video. If the whole family wants to get involved in a character meet, the character attendant will hold your vlogging camera for you. What you need to do is turn the camera on, start it recording, hand it over to the attendant and just say, "Hi, can you film my interaction?" It's already recording, you just need to hold it like this for me. Give them very clear instructions. Sometimes they'll turn it for you. The good thing about Memory Maker and Magic Band and PhotoPass is you can have your photos taken for you by the photographer, and the character attendant will hold the camera for you, so it's even better. Just bear in mind that they might not pick up the audio if they're far away. I think for my next trip, I'm looking at maybe getting a really small microphone that I can use so you guys can hear the interaction in more detail, because when I look back at my vlogs now, that's the one thing that I wish I had kit-wise, is a small microphone so you guys can hear the interaction in more detail. Rides. Now, some rides you can use your camera on, others you won't be able to. So for instance, Tower of Terror, they don't like you using your camera with a flash on, but I have got away before with filming it without a flash. Also remember there's a video. Disney are trying to combat this now as well by having the video section of Memory Maker. So Tower of Terror now has a video. I don't feel the need to film in it anymore. Things like Winnie the Pooh, I can just sit there happily and hold the camera. For the Little Mermaid, I used the Jobby Stick and I wrapped the tripod around the safety bar, and then I had my hands free. I didn't even have to worry about if the camera was getting everything in shot, because I knew it was, because I checked it just as we'd gone into the ride. Of course, be really careful when you're on rides. You don't want your camera to fly off and hit anybody else. It's really important that it's secure. On my camera, I use a wrist strap as well. So actually I have my wrist in the camera and I hold the tripod with my wrist in the camera. So if I let go of the tripod for whatever reason, the camera is not going anywhere because it's still on my wrist. It's so important that you make sure that you secure it. Again, not just so you lose it, because you really don't want to injure anybody else that's come onto the ride. Disney think that the camera is a dangerous piece of equipment. They will not let you on that ride with it. So let's talk about shows. Let's remember my #1 top tip, piece of advice again: do not live your life through the lens. I have mastered the art of having the camera here and looking at the show and watching the show I want. I never want to be one of these people that are like holding it up. You have to remember the people behind you as well. So just try and be a bit mindful. Sometimes I'll do this and I'll have it here on my head and I'll look at it through underneath the camera, or sometimes I will look at it through the viewfinder if I am going to get a better view with that. It all really depends on the scenario, but I would advise you guys master the tip of making sure that your camera is in focus and is positioned on what you want, and being able to watch the show and just going back every so often. Not this often, but this is the movement that I do. Look back, just check that it's okay, and carry on watching and enjoying the show for myself. Now, we've already touched on it briefly, but I'm going to say it again. Using your friends and family and making sure everybody is comfortable with the camera equipment is a great way to get everybody involved, and also to make sure that you as the main person is not always the person that's behind the camera. So for instance, Adam doesn't like being in front of the camera as much, so he did a lot of filming for me when we went, with me kind of in front and he was talking to me, and that worked really, really well in our vlogs. Other times it would just be me, I would just be here with the camera with the screen flipped out, and that's fine as well. It all gave a bit of a different dynamic. So if the person who you're with or the people who you're with in your group want to get involved, then kind of switch up the cameras a little bit and see what happens. So let's talk about an area that in reality is not 100% necessary. When I went to Disney World last year, I used all my memory cards, and then once the memory card was full, I locked that memory card in the safe in our hotel room. That was totally sufficient for me. I was comfortable that I wasn't going to lose that footage. However, if you ask 2017 Charlotte what she's going to do when she goes to Disney, she is going to back up each memory card as it finishes on a portable hard drive. If you're a beginner, you don't really need to worry about this. Locking your memory cards in the safe will be sufficient. However, if you do want to make like a vlogging series on YouTube or anything like that, I would advise backing up your memory cards. So going forward, I will back up my memory card onto my portable hard drive when I'm at Disney, because I take my laptop with me anyway for the, I was about to say the train, but for the plane, and of the train if I'm going to Paris, I guess. And then what I do is I put it on here, and this comes with me everywhere I go in the UK. In Disney, I will more than likely just lock it in the safe. If you really, really are worried that you're going to lose your footage, please do back up your memory cards, because this is absolutely invaluable to me now. I wouldn't do another Disney trip now without backing up, and as soon as I get back to the UK, I back everything up anyways. Even if I don't take my portable hard drive with me, I back up everything the minute I get back to the UK. Like, I put it on the cloud, I put it on my hard drive, and it's on my computer. It's in about 4 locations, which again seems excessive, but when I'm vlogging, I vlog obviously everything over a 14-day period, but then I edit it over a 28-week period, and I don't have time to sit down and edit and upload all those vlogs in one go. I do it weekly, so I have to make sure the footage stays safe for at least 6 months. Let's talk about editing software. So I use a Mac, so I'm very fortunate that I have iMovie automatically uploaded onto that Mac. I adore it. There's plenty of other ones you can use if you're a Windows user. I think Movie Maker, again, not the greatest, but will get the job done for you. You can use Final Cut Pro if you're an Apple user. There are a couple of Adobe softwares that you can use as well. You need to find the one that's best for you, but if you're just starting out, don't splash out on one that is very expensive until you know exactly what you want to do with your vlogs. Let's talk about angles. So we've talked about tripods, and tripods are a great way of changing the angles. It's a lot more comfortable for me to hold a tripod than it is to hold a camera like this. So I like to use a tripod. I can move the tripod a lot better. It's really great during parades because I have a bit more movement to push the tripod out in front of me if I'm sitting on Main Street and I'm wanting to get a shot of everybody coming down Main Street. You really just have to play with the angles on holiday. You won't know what's going to work for you and what you're happy with until you go out there and try it. I've worked out that I like to do castle shots from far away with a different lens because I like the quality of that. I've worked out that when I meet characters, I like Adam to be a bit further forward, but not in the way of the Memory Maker photographer. And Disney cast members are so helpful. They will honestly help you. If you ask them to hold a camera for you, they will absolutely do it. So that is my beginner's guide to vlogging your Disney World holiday. I hope that's given you a little bit of insight. Like I said earlier, I now make YouTube videos as a part-time job, so I take a much more professional headspace towards it now. I think though, if you're just going as a family or as a couple and you want to vlog it, get hold of a good quality point and shoot and just have fun with it. That's the most important thing. Don't worry if you can't get that perfect shot or you don't think you're going to do very well. It's more about how you feel when you're doing it. You need to be having fun, you need to be immersed in the magic, and that is why my top tip, I'll say it again one more time for the people at the back, don't live your life through the lens. This is a magical place and you're surrounded by magic. Don't get too bogged down in how it's looking through your camera lens and live it yourself. I hope this has been helpful, guys. It's been quite heavily requested, so I'm thinking that you guys may have enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like any more videos like this, please leave me some comments below and let me know kind of what you want to see. Everything I've mentioned is down in the description box below, and I'll see you real soon. Bye, guys.